We have heard many of the initiatives of which we're very proud as our country has stepped forth in the Great Society, and since before and since then. We all know that we need to confront poverty in America with fresh eyes and new thinking as well. And therefore, it is my honor to introduce our next witness, a fellow San Franciscan, whom I'm privileged to represent in Congress, Maverick Bishop. I met Bishop through his connection to the YMCA, where he rocked the house with his presentation recently to the YMCA. I'm pleased to mention he's an alumnus of an initiative first developed by the San Francisco YMCA called Reach and Rise, a mentorship initiative to help young people who are living in hardship break the cycle of poverty. And I'm pleased to mention that he is here today with his mentor, Mark Blay, and his wife, Peggy, who are here, as well as Chip Rich from the YMCA of San Francisco, and Maverick is also here with his girlfriend, Carmina. Maverick knows firsthand how poverty can weigh on a family, but Maverick and his mother found a way out. Now he's on the road to completing his training as a journeyman carpenter later this year. Maverick, thank you for coming to the Capitol today. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
To offer, in times when a bed wasn't available, we're forced to sleep. And from a mother and son to me having to quickly step up and help out any way I could. We're surviving together, and no matter how bad it was, we'll make it out together. Obviously, school was hard for me. A lot of kids teased me for wearing the same clothes or never having a lunch. I was always quiet with low self-esteem. I preferred to talk with adults instead of kids my age. I became angry and was labeled a bully with a bad reputation. Luckily, I did have a few good people that helped us along our journey to get back on our feet, or the dark days, which I like to call them. I honestly know if it wasn't for those few people that stuck with me, I wouldn't be up here speaking to all of you today. And going back to those dark days, my mom knew she had to find something for me to steer from that lifestyle and just enjoy the little things and be a kid. Luckily, we found the YMCA Reach and Rise mentoring program. I was fortunate enough to be paired up with a great mentor through this program, Mark Bly, who's here with me today. Even though we had nothing in common, and we're both natives to two different sides of the city, and he'd never truly understand what I was going through when it was time to drop me off, he was still open-minded and patient with my situation. He was a very positive influence in my life. Having a good mentor helped me block out what I was going through on a day-to-day basis and just enjoy the little things. In that time, I experienced bike riding trips, learned how to swim, got me more involved with the YMCA family. I received a scholarship to the YMCA camp, attended YMCA-sponsored events, and after my mentoring term on paper ended, we stayed in touch and became good friends. Now, after finally graduating 8th grade, I went to John O'Connell High School to learn a trade, which I was told if you couldn't afford college, you have to at least learn a trade. The very same year, they discontinued the trades and made it a regular public school. And the struggle continues. In my opinion, it seemed more of an introduction to becoming a teen parent or gang member within one semester. I started drifting off, getting into trouble, taking on a different type of apprenticeship that I know I didn't want to be part of, and decided to call my old mentor for some advice. With no hesitation, he picked up the phone, offered me a job at his company part-time after school. Within that time, I had a tragedy with a triple murder of my closest cousins and uncle by MS-13 due to mistaken identity. I was so distraught and angry that all the stuff I've been through and overcame this happened to them. My first thought was, why not me? I always kind of figured I'd be short-lived in some way. But nope, took out 3 great kids and a loving father, and yet another one of God's tests for me. I was standing on both sides of the line, not knowing which way to go. Do I handle it or take the easy road, or fight for success that I've always dreamed of? The success I know I deserve. Take this great opportunity and live. Live for me. Live for the people that put the time and effort into supporting me. Live for my family that isn't with me here today. No more excuses, and let it be in God's hands. And use this to achieve my success with the strength of my family and friends. This is my story, just one of thousands in San Francisco alone. Every child deserves an opportunity to better themselves and earn their place as a contributing member in our society. Through my journey, I made lifelong friendships and learned no matter what situation you're in, regardless of your past or what class you fall under, it doesn't define who you are as a person. Anyone can change, beat the odds, and manifest your own miracles. And finally, I hope the committee will open doors for more young people like myself through continued funding for the mentoring programs, because it works. Started writing poetry too, so I have a poem. It's Maverick. Can you feel Maverick's pain? I bet you didn't know that it's far from the rest. Since I was a little kid, I knew I had this gift. Speak on my young-minded degenerates. Someone you would consider illiterate, but I call them the strong few really live in this. Forget your trap or your block, this the shelter kid, struggling through his day-to-day, wondering when he's gonna eat again. Doped out parents, no influence, so excuse my excuses. No help, living rags to rags, while the rich count their riches. Who's to blame? Damn, what a shame. I'm the unfortunate lame who's seen so much pain, walking over deadbeat fiends. Moments from their last breath, looking into their eyes, I could see there was nothing left. Could it be this the future me? Forget that, it's like the cycle of my family's on repeat. Eject, popping a new CD, changes genre. God, I've had it up to here, please no more drama. But no answer came, so I guess it's up to me, huh? Diced with death, the die's been cast. It's up to me to deal with the demons from my past. Thank you.
And
Wow. Mark,
Yeah, Mark's back.
please stand, Mark. Thank you. And his wife. Know in your heart, Maverick, you are a success, and we thank you for your courage.
Thank you. Meaningful work and meaningful wages, what that means to me. I mean, pretty much like how I said it in my story, it just gives me pride, it's to contribute. I don't want to get rich scheme or win the lottery so much. It'd be nice, but, I just want to work hard, and get rewarded for it. So that's what gives me pride, and that's why I call myself patriot, for this country. And I wanted to also answer Eric Swalwell's question too. I mean, pretty much it wasn't just the mentoring that helped me out. It was also working. I had options. So, kind of with my mentor and I after this, it just sparked something in us to get our own program together for workforce for kids. And pretty much I was a trial run, and we know it works. So that's pretty much what we're going to try to start pushing with the Y or whoever we can to help us out. So I think that would that'd be really good. That'd help out. And then for Lee, I guess it was for my mom and my dad. They're both use drugs or whatnot. It kind of goes to housing and history. I mentioned it's a cycle. It's a repeated cycle that you learn from your first parents and it comes down. And I mean, my mom was one of 11. My dad was one of 5. Housing situation. They're both natives of San Francisco, North Beach. So, I mean, really, it's kind of just the living situation and maybe education. I figured that's kind of what helped me out when I started paying attention and receiving this help. I had the choice not to. I chose to, and that kind of got me out of that whole situation. So, thankfully, that doesn't apply to me. My parents changed that. So,
what about losing your mom?
Losing my mom. Yeah. So that has always been something in the shelters. I would represent shelters, kids in shelters. There's a whole other stories for foster care and whole other stories for homeless and all those. But we were always told, we could get taken away if they knew what type of situation we were living in. And my mom was on welfare. We had food stamps. We've been waiting on the list for Section 8, and I'm already about to be 27. So. It was just, I'm sorry, I was losing myself on that. But what was the question again? Sorry.
They were always threatening you.
Yeah, they're always threatening us. And, I mean, I don't know if it was true, but it was just a safety thing. Also, maybe our parents didn't want to be alone either. Maybe they kind of needed us just as much to survive on that and lean on us. Thankfully, my mom didn't quite recover mentally, but she hid a lot from me. and it would have been a worse situation if she didn't. I pretty much just want to say thank you for the opportunity as well. I mean, you guys are even still empowering me and pushing me by me coming here, you know, and I did my first Y speech. Really, I was scared. I didn't want to do it. I said no. Called him back. The fact that I said no, I needed to do the challenge. So I went and said yes, and just keep going for the kids. So you guys are still making me stronger and a better person even now. It's funny. But stories keep going, and it's going to be good.
You recommend the mentoring program?
Yes, mentoring program. And one that hopefully we can get going too. Because I will say, having the job, I mean, you can't teach responsibility and really having something to look forward to. The job and the mentor, that combination is what worked. All right.
How about running for Congress?
Maybe.